Welcome, guys. Today I will tell you a mysterious and true story that happened in the United States of America, where the upper part of a girl's body was cut off. Let's start. Karina, a 19-year-old Swedish girl, has always dreamed of adventures and exploring the world. In 1996, her opportunity to fulfill her dream came when she won a prize worth about $1,500 in the lottery. Although this amount was not significant for some, it was enough for Karina to change her life. After careful consideration, Karina decided to invest this amount in realizing her dream. She decided to book a flight ticket to America. In March of the same year, Karina embarked on her journey to the United States of America in search of a new life. Upon her arrival in America, she settled in Boston. Karina began exploring the new country and getting to know its culture and people. She realized that she needed to work to achieve her financial independence and fulfill her dreams. And indeed, she found a job as a nanny for a wealthy family consisting of the father Frank, commercial photographer, the mother Susan, who worked as an artist, and their 2 children. Karina took care of the children throughout the week, but on weekends, she enjoyed her time outside with her friends. She was a social person who loved interacting with people and making friends during her time in America. Karina fell in love with a police officer in the southern part of the city. On Friday, June 20th of the same year, Karina and 3 of her friends went to a bar. All of her friends, like her, worked as nannies. Anyway, Karina entered the bar with a fake ID because she had problems with her own ID, while her friends entered the bar normally. Everyone was enjoying the evening until they suddenly noticed Karina's absence. At first, her friends assumed that she might have gone back home without them noticing, but after searching for her and not finding her, they decided to return home. After a night that lasted almost half an hour, no one knew where Karina was. Until Sunday, June 22nd, there was a homeless man collecting things from the garbage containers. The man contacted the police, who immediately began their investigations. They found the body cleaned professionally, meaning there were no bloodstains, but they noticed red marks on her hands, indicating that the girl was definitely restrained before being killed. Police took this part and took it for analysis, discovering that there were only restraint marks on her hands. They searched further in this part. Unfortunately, they did not find any fingerprints that could lead to the perpetrator. After further searching, they found a partial fingerprint on the garbage bag contained this part. They took the fingerprint and tried to identify to whom this fingerprint belongs. But after conducting the analysis, it turned out that the fingerprint did not match any person in the national database. There is no one with this fingerprint, which made local news channels raise this news alert. Franco and his wife Susan noticed that their nanny, Karina, had disappeared for a while and was not responding to their calls. As a result, the couple contacted the police and informed them that this young woman might be their children's nanny. Unfortunately, when they went to the hospital, the painful information was confirmed. The body indeed belonged to Karina. After conducting detailed analyses on the body, forensic medicine concluded that the cause of death was strangulation, meaning she was first strangled to make sure the perpetrator that she died then cut. The police assumed 2 possibilities. Either Karina was killed by a serial killer, or her death was the result of an unintended accident. In other words, she may have gone out with someone that night, who in turn tried to assault her, leading to her accidental death regardless of the killer's identity. It is clear that the killer cut her body in this way to make it easier for him. And the question now, is the killer someone from Karina's circle of acquaintances, or is he a stranger to her? Karina's friends provided completely contradictory accounts of how she left the place, meaning one of her friends said she saw her leaving the bar at 3 in the morning in a state of severe drunkenness with an older man. The second friend of Karina said that she went out with the same man and told me that she was heading to another party. There was also another witness who said he saw her sleeping in the bar's bathroom where the guards took her out. Despite these contradictions, police were certain of one thing. Karina definitely left the bar between 2 and 3 in the morning, but tried to return to enter again, but the guards prevented her because they were preparing to close the bar. After the news spread, many people informed the police department that they saw a blonde girl wearing silver pants, the same pants she was wearing, and they said she was dancing with a homeless man and saying that her friends had left her alone. Another witness mentioned that he saw her talking to 4 men near a car, offering her a ride with them. Another person reported seeing Karina in the car with 2 men, and when the person approached her to invite her to go with him, the men warned him that if he did not move away, they would harm him. The police noticed in the surveillance cameras that Herbert offered to take Karina home. The police ruled out any ill intentions towards her, especially after providing strong evidence of his whereabouts on the day of the incident. As for the homeless man Karina was dancing with, this person's name is Akwan, but the police ruled him out because this person is just a homeless man, meaning he has no isolated home and no place to get rid of her. The police concluded that Karina's life in America was not easy, as she had been planning recently to return to her homeland. This was indicated in a message she sent to her family, where she mentioned that she would return in August and that she felt worried and stressed about the life she was living here. In another message she sent to a friend residing in Sweden, Karina told her that she wanted to leave America because something terrifying had happened to her. Unfortunately, she did not tell her friend about this terrifying thing. All she said was that she would tell her everything when she arrived in Sweden. The police decided to interrogate Franco and Susan, who she worked for, but their reaction was to refuse to cooperate with the investigators, and they hired a lawyer to defend them. This behavior may raise further suspicions, especially since Franco's reputation is not good, according to some former employees. Franco was trying to inappropriately get close to the girls who worked for him, and it is expected that he also tried to get close to Karina. It is possible that their relationship developed and Karina may have become pregnant by him. This possibility could be the motive behind Franco getting rid of Karina and then her body, in order to protect his professional reputation and his married life. These are just theories with no conclusive evidence so far. But Franco and his wife's behavior and the course of the investigation raise more doubts and questions about what may have actually happened. After discovering the blonde girl's body in the container, police found another container nearby that had been burned. The police did not determine who was responsible for this fire. Theories then emerged suggesting that Susan and Frank were the ones who set the fire to destroy evidence related to the murder of Karina. Upon inspecting the burnt container, police found some art pieces by Susan, some of which were strange. In one painting, Susan drew a blonde girl close to an angel resembling Susan's husband Frank. In another painting, she depicted a girl inside a box, reminiscent of Karina's manner of death. However, the police did not officially accuse Susan and Frank of Karina's murder. Furthermore, the victim's former lover, who is a police officer, was quickly removed from the list of suspects, likely due to insufficient evidence linking him to the crime. The case of Karina's murder remains mysterious and unsolved after all these years, as her killer continues to be unknown and at large. I would like to hear your opinions in the comments. Who do you think is responsible for Karina's murder?